Are you frustrated with that plantar fasciitis that just seems to linger around? You've been rolling your foot on that frozen water bottle, you're doing your toe scrunches, but nothing seems to be helping? Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa, and today we are going over 4 exercises to get you real results, and you just might be surprised by the last one. Go grab your mats, and let's do this. Before we get started today, if you happen to have a tennis or a lacrosse ball, this is a rad recovery round. These are my favorite. And if you happen to have a hand towel, you could also just roll up your yoga mat as well. So to start off, you're struggling with that pain, so let's get rid of those symptoms. The first exercise we're gonna do is a myofascial release technique for this muscle, the inside part of your calf. This is a really big trigger point for plantar fasciitis. I'm gonna show 2 different techniques. We're gonna start with the ball on our left side. You can scoot that directly behind your knee, maybe closer to that inside calf muscle. And then we're gonna sink those hips back. You might kind of wiggle your hips left and right. You might just need to adjust that ball a little bit. And I want you to come back to your breathing. Gentle breaths, not gripping, not holding anything. You can wiggle left, you can wiggle to the right. And we're gonna find just a couple of trigger spots along this calf. You might notice differences, especially left side to right side. We're just doing 1 in this video, but check out the other side to see what that feels like. Good. 30 to 60 seconds in each spot is plenty. More is not necessarily better in this case, because what that can do is overhydrate your tissues and just make it that stiffer, tighter feeling. Good, let's take 1 more breath here. So if this position has felt good, scoot that ball down a little bit more. You might be up a little higher, wiggling in and out. If this position is not comfortable for you, you can come down to a seated position, and the same thing, let me flip so you can see. Same thing, we're gonna start with the ball on that inside part of your calf. You can bring those hands behind you, roll up and roll down till you're like, woo, I found that spot. You could take your other leg and place your other leg on top and just gently point and flex those toes. That'll make it just a little bit more intense. It should be that, oh, this hurts but feels good type of feeling. This is one of my favorite go-tos to release that inside part of your calf muscle. Ooh, nice, gentle breaths in and out. The same thing. 30 to 60 seconds in each spot is plenty. Nice job. And this is great to do if you're gonna be going out and doing some activity, after you've done activity, first thing in the morning to get those tissues gliding. Awesome, let's take 1 more breath, whichever one, if you're in the kneeling position or this one. So I love finding 2 or 3 spots, 30 to 60 seconds each on that inside calf. Awesome. The second exercise we're gonna work on is getting some mobility for our big toe. We need this big toe to have about at least 60 degrees of range of motion, this angle right here lifting up. This joint can be really stiff sometimes, and that can put some extra pressure on our plantar fascia, especially when we're up on our feet and walking around. So if you've got that tennis ball, lacrosse ball, we're gonna place that down on the ground. And you're gonna take your big toe and just put your big toe on the ball, and the 4 other toes go off to the side. Now, what might happen is your foot might roll to the outside. You wanna make sure that mound of your big toe keeps pushing down towards the ground. Another way, just so you can see a different angle, those 4 toes are off to the side. You can take that knee and get your knee to go forward over that ball to stretch out that big toe joint. So lean forward, we're taking gentle breaths, and then back off. Lean into it. If you want a little bit added onto this, think of taking your big toe and push that big toe down into the ball, and then relax. Push that big toe down and come back up. Good. And you want to make sure you're not curling that big toe at all. Curling those toes, it's not working those deep muscles in the bottom of your feet. So that's probably why you didn't see any results from those toe curls, scrunching the towel. Good, maybe we lean in, lean off. Same thing with this exercise, about a minute. And you wanna compare those two sides. Check left side, right side. Do they feel different? And if you do notice a difference, trying to balance out those two sides. So we're working on getting our fascia moving. We're getting some mobility in that big toe. We also get a little bit of mobility with our ankle. We wanna make sure we're not rolling to the outside, that heel stays down, and that foot goes straight ahead. Now that we worked on that, let's start to build up some strength. This is where that towel roll, or you can roll up your yoga mat, comes into play. So we'll take that towel roll, you'll roll that up, and then we're just gonna take our toes and place your toes down on that towel roll. You're gonna think of pressing your toes down in, but not that curling, and especially this inside area mound of your big toe, pressing that down. From here, you might wanna grab a chair, you could hold onto the wall. I'm not testing out your balance with this one yet, but you're gonna press down and come up onto those toes and back down. Press, lift up, and then back down. Slow, controlled. Make sure you come in to that breathing. You wanna make sure you're not leaning too far backwards. That's where having something to hold on to could be helpful. Very slow, controlled. We wanna feel muscles in the bottom of the feet. We're gonna feel those calves working. Pressing down into that roll. And just, you guys keep going, just switching different angle. Because what you wanna be careful of is sometimes I'll see this, those feet will roll to the outside, and we're not getting those calf muscles and those deep muscles in the bottom of the feet. So you can go to, you're like, ooh, I feel those muscles working. Some might be 6 to 8, others might be 12 to 15. Good. Just waking up those muscles, and you're checking. I just caught myself. My little second toe was like curling. We wanna make sure we're not gripping with those toes. It's using other muscles. And that is what's gonna lead us into our fourth one, which you might be surprised is core stability is key with plantar fasciitis. There's a huge connection with what's going on in the bottom of your foot and your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is part of your core. Let's do one more here. Good, come back down. So we're gonna come down onto our backs for this last one. So the first couple are really working to try to help with the symptoms that you're having. What we're working on now is to prevent this from happening again. We wanna make sure that we're loading the bottom of those feet properly. So for this core exercise, we wanna make sure that we don't have a big arch. You wanna feel the entire core working. No pushing, no bulging, no like feeling lots of pressure down here. That's not using that system like we want. Take a nice, gentle breath in. We're gonna breathe out to the sides of your rib cage. And exhale, let it go, like you're blowing out birthday candles. Nice, gentle breath in again. Exhale, let that go. So you're gonna feel this zipping up on the exhale from pubic bone up towards the belly button all the way up, but not this gripping and bracing the entire time. So we'll start off, bring those knees in towards your chest. Nice, gentle breath in. Exhale, let it go. Good, we'll inhale, tap one leg down. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, pull that back in. So we're just gently going from side to side. We want to check and make sure nothing's pushing or bulging out. If you do and you adjust your breath with this and it's still pushing out, maybe backing off this exercise a little bit and working on exhaling, bringing one knee in at a time. Out to the sides, exhale, pull it in. and switch to the other side. It's all about what muscles you're feeling with your core and your pelvic floor, making sure those right muscles are firing up, that we're not gripping and holding too much tension, because that creates lots of pressure in our abdomen, which leads to more leaks, pains, prolapse, constipation, other issues, foot pain. We know there's a big connection there. So working on this core stability is really key. Now, if you're like, Melissa, I'm not quite sure with the breathing, how to coordinate everything, I'm not feeling it here, go ahead and check that link up there, the missing link to your pelvic floor, and I go into detail on how to start doing this. Good, let's just do a couple more wherever you're at. Nice job. Exhale, let it go. Nice job. Last one here. Place those feet back down. Gently roll onto your side and come all the way back up. Find a comfortable seated position. So the key to really fixing that plantar fasciitis is first we'll treat the symptoms so you can be more comfortable, doing myofascial techniques, rolling, and then we start to build up the strength, both in those deep muscles in the bottom of your feet, looking at the core. There's other exercises to take a look at your hip, and remembering that consistency is key. If you're not quite sure of how to get this whole system working, go ahead and check out the description box. I've got lots of other resources for you. Keep up the good work. Until next time, namaste.